I didn't expect Puerto Vallarta to change my mind. In fact, I didn't even want to go. I'd built my entire idea of Mexico around Guadalajara, learning Spanish the awkward way, building friendships with locals, and slowly letting this country shape me instead of demanding to shape it for myself. A Mexico full of history, family, indigenous roots, pride, struggle, and the kind of everyday culture you only understand when you live inside it. So when people warned me that Puerto Vallarta was too touristy, too English-speaking, too gentrified, I believed them. I figured the Mexico I'd fallen in love with would get lost somewhere between margarita menus and cruise ship crowds. But Mexico refuses to be one thing. In Puerto Vallarta, it's no different. Because the moment I arrived, something unexpected happened. I stepped into a place where vacation and identity, art and nature, queerness and culture all meet without apologizing for any of it. And that's the story I want to share with you today. Not the Puerto Vallarta I expected, but the one that surprised me. We left on a Friday evening, a 4-hour drive west, sun melting behind the mountains, humidity thickening in the air. Kaya had her head out the window, ears flapping, clearly in her own vacation montage. By dawn the next day, the city was waking up. Coffee in hand, humidity hitting like a warm embrace. We stepped into a Puerto Vallarta I wasn't expecting. Puerto Vallarta is huge, bigger, louder, more artistic than I ever imagined. The Malecón, the famous oceanfront boardwalk, is the cultural artery of the city. Sculptures, art galleries, ocean views, street performers, restaurants, the non-stop hum of life. We put on some shoes for Kaya to wear, protecting her paws from the heat. And our first stop, a perfect model named Guillermo, a bright red parrot who posed like he had an OnlyFans. Ricardo was in heaven. But then the art began. Sculptures everywhere. Trees with roots like woven rope. The ocean slamming the edge of the boardwalk after a recent hurricane. We found everything from The Boy on the Seahorse to the surreal Rotonda del Mar by Alejandro Colunga, the same artist whose works sits in front of the Instituto Cultural Cabañas in Guadalajara. In Search of Reason by Sergio Bustamante of Tlaquepaque, and his iconic masterpieces with the triangle heads towered above us. PV isn't just a beach town, it's an outdoor museum. We followed the beach toward Playa Los Muertos, the beating heart of the Zona Romántica. Despite the dramatic name, there is nothing dead about this beach. Families are everywhere. Vendors, music, that massive pier stretching into Bahia de Banderas. I took Kaya's little shoes off, she was thrilled, and let her dig her paws into the sand. At the end of the beach, beside a building's shade, we rested, grabbed drinks, and launched the drone. From above, PV unfolds like a painting. Blue water, giant hotels, mountains, rooftops, sailboats cutting through the wind. Parasailers gliding above us as we sat and embraced the view. We stopped at a place nearby and ate shrimp tacos and nachos, bought chapulines from a vendor, and yes, they were delicious. If you're from the US, trust me, the mental hurdle is bigger than the actual grasshopper. And then we ran into the ocean like children with no dignity left. Kaya watched from the shore like a disappointed mother. After a break at home, a walk for Kaya, and navigating PV's charming but chaotic cobblestone streets, Ricky and I headed towards the jungle for a sunset hike. The climb to Mirador de Conchas Chinas is 2.4-mile trek up stone staircases and through thick forest. Tall trees, dense brush, humidity that made me question my life choices. But then, the top. A giant carpet on the lookout. The entire Bay of Banderas stretching out beneath us. Sunbeams catching the ocean. Wind so strong it tried to steal the drone. Birds gliding at the edge of the horizon. A dense light drizzle turning everything gold. One of the most breathtaking views I've had in Mexico. We descended as the rain began to fall. Raining! The rain followed us into Zona Romántica, PV's iconic LGBTQ neighborhood, one of the most welcoming queer destinations in all of Mexico, possibly in the world. I didn't expect it to feel like home. Rainbows everywhere, mariachis playing, people laughing, restaurants filled with couples and families. It's rare to feel so fully safe and seen in a foreign country. But Zona Romántica is built for that, built for us. We ate churros dipped in chocolate at La Romántica, admired portraits of Mexico's icons, grabbed drinks at Tacos Revolucion, and then had the most sinful bacon and cheese-wrapped hot dogs from Monchosos, a religious experience. By the time we drove home, the streets were flooded. One of those reminders that even in paradise, nature has her own mood swings. The next morning, Kaya walked us through those same flooded streets. From the street, we spotted handmade birdhouses and mosaics in walls. PV reveals itself slowly, in layers. Then we headed up into the mountains. Waterfalls cascading down the walls lining the road. Fog and clouds in the distance for the day's real adventure. The Vallarta Botanical Gardens is a must-see for anyone who loves nature, or even just wants to pretend they're in a National Geographic documentary. Tucked 13,000 feet above sea level, these 79 acres protects more than 70 acres of untouched tropical forest. No government funding, just passion and mission. This place is alive. Giant open spaces with benches to sit among the flowers. Oaks towering overhead, ponds filled with lotus pads, agaves and cacti sprouting from giant pots, giant obsidian boulders standing proud. The Ulstein orchid and vanilla house, filled with rare species, is a highlight. The garden is building the first ocelot sanctuary in Mexico, part of the Jaguar Corridor conservation effort. We wandered trails, this time in shorts and bug sprayless, which we regretted the next day. Watched butterflies float between blossoms, visited the koi pond, and walked down to the Rio Orcones, warm and tropical, rushing after recent rains. We hung out there for a bit, taking in the beauty, but dared not swim in the powerful water. Then we visited the chapel, Our Lady of the Garden, home of the Los Angelitos installation, and the resting place of supporters, pets, and a memorial for the Aeromexico Flight 229, which crashed nearby in 1973. All 27 passengers and crew were lost. It's sacred, quiet, proud. A place where Mexico honors nature, memory, and legacy. It's no wonder it's ranked among the top 10 botanical gardens in North America and the first outside the US to win the APGA Garden of Excellence. After leaving the botanical garden, still smelling like orchids and rain, we drove back down the mountains into Puerto Vallarta and returned to Zona Romántica. During the day, it feels different. Quieter, softer, but still drenched in pride. Rainbow flags tucked into balconies, colorful mosaics glowing in the sunlight. That unmistakable feeling of being welcomed exactly as you are. We wandered the outside of the promenade, and then we followed the beach back toward the Malecón to meet up with two friends from Denver, Amy and John, who had flown in to enjoy Puerto Vallarta for the weekend. And of course, the first thing we made them do? Eat chapulines, a rite of passage. After their surprisingly enthusiastic approval, we all walked together toward Playa Los Muertos and stepped onto the giant pier stretching out into the ocean. From its edge, boats circling, wind picking up, you can see all of Puerto Vallarta's shoreline, the hotels rising in the distance, the curved arc of Bahia de Banderas glittering beneath the fading sun. We spent the evening wandering the romantic district and closed the night with food and drinks at La Cantina Margarita before heading home. A perfect end to a long, colorful day. The next morning, we learned the hard truth of visiting a tropical garden after heavy rains. Wear bug spray and pants or suffer. Our legs were a constellation of itchy, burning insect bites. So before anything else, we limped our way into a pharmacy and bought betamethasone cream like two desperate travelers in search of salvation. Then we met Amy and John for breakfast. Again, along the Malecón, watching waves crash only a few feet away. There's something about the rhythm of the ocean that calms you instantly. The push and pull softens your thoughts, slows down the world. It's impossible not to breathe differently when the Pacific is doing its thing right in front of you. After breakfast, we wandered into the center of the city, letting the morning guide us, until the morning surprised us back. As we crossed the bridge from the Malecón to the beach, we noticed people gathering, pointing toward the sand. A crocodile, just lying there, in the same spot where people were swimming the day before. Not sick, not injured, just enjoying a beach day under a bridge while people walked casually above it. Even a guy in a raincoat wandered by like this was the most normal, everyday activity. I snapped a photo from behind a cement wall because self-preservation matters, and we moved on, adding crocodile encounter to the unexpected memories of this trip. And right then, the sky opened up and the rain came pouring down. We ducked into Nacho Daddy, grabbed a drink, and I found a cookie next door stuffed inside an Oreo, a masterpiece, a work of art in its own right. When the rain cleared, we headed back to the center of Zona Romántica one last time, determined to enjoy the parts we hadn't explored yet. And there was so much. Tiles filled with poetry, mosaics depicting trees and city skylines, bursts of color everywhere. It was wild realizing how much we'd walked past without noticing. Travel has a way of reminding you, look again, there's always more. With our art cravings satisfied, it was time to feed our actual hunger. For 2 nights, we'd seen a massive line outside of Pancho's Tacos, which usually means one thing: it's worth it. We weren't wrong. Juicy al pastor, shaved off the spit, perfectly seasoned carne asada, salsas that felt like they could resurrect the dead. It was the perfect final meal. As we walked back to our car to leave Puerto Vallarta, we found stones stacked perfectly against the waves. Little towers balanced on the edge of the sea. They felt symbolic. Puerto Vallarta is a balance between party and peace, between tourism and culture, between the Mexico many expect and the Mexico that truly exists. Our moments here were brief, like stacked rocks waiting for the waves, but beautiful because they won't last forever. And that's why I'll be back. This is Pato's Path, an adventure in exploring, celebrating, and remembering to enjoy the world around us. Thank you for watching. If this story caught your interest, hit like, tap subscribe, and follow along as we keep walking this journey together. There's so much more to see.